Let me tell you. Let's say I won the lottery. You wanna know what I would do?
Yeah, let
First
me
things
hear.
first, I'm bullying some kids. That's number one. Then I would go up to the homies. I would get like a Range Rover, right? And I'd pick all of you up every day and we go to school together, right?
In a Range
That's it.
Rover?
Yes, in a
Okay,
Range Rover.
let me cut you off right there, right?
Uh-huh.
If I won the lottery, the last thing I would be doing is going to school, especially school at Coral Springs High.
No, listen. There's a reason. I'd go to Coral Springs High for 1 week, right? I would I would do nothing but back to back.
Oh my
I'd find
gosh.
all the gold digger girls, right?
Yeah.
I'd make it seem like, oh, I want them or whatever. They'd be like, oh my god, I'm gonna be set for life. I could drop out. Oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Make them all these promises, get them to drop out, just so I could be like, now see, you made the wrong decision, and leave them, right? So that's fine. So then they'd go back to school and like focus on themselves. So that's a good thing for them, right? I'd go up to all the nigs, right?
Yeah.
And I'd be like, listen, you peasants, right? You guys could increase your situation, but instead you decide to sit around and be dirty nigs for no reason. Go to class and actually increase your lifestyle, because if you continue your life down this path, you're definitely going to do nothing but end up in Section 8 housing in prison, okay? So
Why
I
are you
tell them
going
that.
off on him?
Alright? Then they'd be like, hey, oh man, no, you want to box? And I'm like, no, I'm not going to fight you. Because I already know that that's the only way that you could show your emotions. But how about instead of fighting me, I sit down with you and we together work out a plan for yourself, right? Then they wouldn't understand it, right?
Yeah.
But maybe if I could touch on their soft part, maybe one of the Riverside Haitians might start crying, come to me, and I'd go sit down and we'd work on something, right? To increase, if I could at least change one Riverside Haitian's life, that's all I need, right? After that, I'd go up to the homies, right? All of the homies, and it depends on. Give me an estimate of how much money I have.
2 mil.
Huh?
2 mil. Did,
Okay, 2 mil.
yeah.
I'd give each of the homies 50K. Each homie gets 50K. Like,
So
is it
each
2 mil or
homie
like?
gets like a nice car and like somewhat towards college.
Yes. Each homie gets, so Danny gets 50K, AJ gets 50K, Rodney and Brian. That's it. Oh, and Malik too. Malik and Sean. That's it. Those are the homies that get 50K. Charles would look at me and I'd be like, kill yourself.
You're just like so prone to disrespecting Charles. But listen, right? I do the same thing as you. But I think I'd like have to like disinclude some certain people. Like people I know for sure that are getting it is Brian and Rodney. I can't like speak for anybody else. Right? And then I'd take so much money and invest it in property, right? So even if I spend all the money on property and government bonds, right? So even if, right, I lose all the money, it's still invested in something, right? And I could always make return on it, right? And then I'd just like never go to school. I'd be set for life. Not even gonna lie. Like I'd like have to make it last.
Listen.
Oh my god.
There's another thing that I would do too. I would also, depends. Alright, for the people that I don't like, right?
Yeah.
I'd let them get real close. Nah, can't put that out there. Because what I was going to say was real sinister.
No, hear me out, right? I would take the money and I would finish high school at Clemson, right? And not tell anyone about it, right?
I love how me and Kenny were like, yeah, we're gonna share it with the homies, and Ryan's just, I'm not
No,
letting anybody
listen.
know.
I'm not letting anyone know while I'm going to school, because then people are just gonna bombard me about it. So after we graduate, right, I'm
From
gonna
what,
pull
high
up.
school or?
High school, high
Okay.
school, high school. Right, I'm gonna pull up to the homies, because we like at our graduation, we're like, oh, and I'll pull it on whispering to you, like, hey, yo, I've been rich my whole life. No, no, not whole life. I've been rich the whole time, right? He'd be like, huh, what? And I'd be like, all right. So what we do after high school? You tell me what you thinking you about to do, and I say, nah, here's some money. And then I'm gonna buy a nice, decent house and a decent car, and then give you guys absolutely the rest of the money.
All of it? Wait, Brian, you're saying you're just gonna like live a boring life and give your homies? That's so sad.
Okay, no,
That's
Brian,
genuinely sad.
Brian, you can't tell me that you're just gonna give the homies all the money. Because
Why?
Listen,
That's so
because
stupid.
of course,
you-
no. There's still gonna be like, I would save like, of course, you know, I would buy like a land somewhere, and I would like put a certain amount of stocks, but the rest of the money, yeah, I'm just gonna share it between you guys, and if you guys somehow do dumb things with it and use up all your money, that's your fault.
Won't you be like upset
What do you mean?
that we wasted the money on dumb stuff?
I use my money properly.
Yeah, but like, I don't know. You're
You're
right.
gonna forever look at yourself like I could have had a better life, but I'm not helping you after that. No. I'm
You
gonna
know
use that
what?
against you like crazy.
I'd make a non-profit organization that somehow makes profit. So it's doing charity, but I'm getting return on it, so I'm never losing money.
But what is it gonna be like?
I'm gonna dang, I'm gonna clothe kids. Yeah, children. Yeah, it's just gonna be like for like kids and junk. So they get like clothes
to be honest,
and they learn how to save money.
honestly, okay, wait, I'm being serious. Would you like to invest in something like that? Like, let's say, like in the future, we make like we all make decent amount of money.
Yeah.
Would you like to co-found, like go like half on a business like that, AJ? Because like, I actually would really like to do that. Take kids in like low income and poverty situations and
Yeah,
like try to change their lives around and stuff.
Teach them how to like be financially stable so that it ends the cycle.
No. I think
See,
the best thing to do if you want to help people, the best thing to do if you want to help people and you have a lot of money is to open up a school.
No. Listen. Here's why opening up a school is actually a bad idea. Because here's why opening up a school is actually a bad idea. Because whenever you open up schools, right? Now you have to fall under under the county school districts and all that stuff and their rules and regulations.
Unless it's a private school.
Yeah, you could. Okay, yeah, that's true. But then we're not gonna be able to do this through a private program. Or that means that people aren't gonna be able to pay for it.
No,
Yeah, that is
it can be
true.
a private school you don't have to pay for.
How
Yeah,
are you gonna
but
fund
I'm
it?
not
Type thing.
That's the thing, yeah. That means you can only fund it for so long. That means all of your money's gonna get depleted. You're gonna be financially unstable now, and your private school's gonna close.
And look at this, right? Imagine you're the owner of a school, right? And then the kids start acting up. How would you feel? How would you feel if they were
Kick 'em
like
out.
if they're like booming people in your school?
This is when you get like, dang, I didn't think about ignorance.
Yeah,
And
because
They just
listen,
kick them out.
when
It
the
doesn't
school
do
first
anything for
starts,
them.
when the school first starts, there's gonna be ignorance. You have to understand.
Dang, I'm over here thinking about respectable black kids that deserve a better life.
And what kind of school? Would it be a high school, a middle school, an elementary school, or in all grades?
Listen, I would want it to be all grades, but here's the thing. I feel like once you get middle school, it's kind of too late.
I
mean,
think
there's some.
I'd make an elementary school. It's less prone to ignorance, for one.
My little
And
sister went
you
to
can
performing arts school. That was all grades. And it was really good.
listen, right? You start at elementary. Well, you have it elementary school because like you could teach them a lot. Like the classes don't even have to be all like instructional or educational. Like you could have classes about morals and like psychology, but then again, like you don't want to like force that on kids.
Because you're just assuming that all of them are bad people.
No, like you can't force that on kids because then like it's gonna be like bad, if that makes sense, because
They're gonna want to do it.
yeah, you're like shaping them into like your mindset. So like they're like they don't have their own opinions. Like they're not like having experiences to like shape their ideals and thoughts. Like you're just telling them what to think at like such a young age, because like that's how like racism works. Like no one's born racist. So like I'm pretty sure at like you and Kenny's school, like all the kids are gonna like graduate being like super homophobic.
We're over here trying to make them non-ignorant people, and we're just gonna go around saying, "Hey yo, we don't mess with them gay people."
What would I name my school? Dang. Edwards Institute of Black Excellence. It's gonna be segregated.
Honestly, okay. Here's another thing too. Every kid at my school would not only be like respectful, like they'd like listen. If you don't greet your teachers with a handshake, yes ma'am and no ma'am, you get in trouble. That's first of all, right?
Why does it have to be ma'am? You're not gonna have male
Yes,
teachers at your school?
or sir. Just respectful.
Either you know the majority of teachers are ladies, though.
Yeah.
But listen. And another thing too, you have to greet every male teacher with a handshake. Every female teacher, you have to either give her a handshake or look her in the eyes when you speak. Okay? That's one. We're gonna have social behavioral classes too.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Like,
social behavioral classes.
So that we know how to not only treat each other, but we also know like what's not acceptable in society. No matter how like different you want to be, there's a way to be different while still being respectful and still being able to like be productive in society. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like,
You know, you're describing like literally like our whole friend group because we actually know how people work. But now you're just describing like the people that don't know how to work is really like the other half of the school.
Well, listen, yes, because this is focused for the other half of the school.
Yeah, this is for them. This is for people that like they just like weren't raised right.
So, but what about the people that are raised right going to school?
Then
okay, those kids that are raised right will not only they're gonna be all right, and not only that, but that's social reinforcement. It's because like there were kids who were raised right. Like okay, you know who was raised right, but I could tell they're just like honestly freaking falling victim to trying to be cool and stuff.
Dude.
Mason.
Yeah.
You can tell Mason was raised right, but he's trying so hard to be like the ghetto black kids that he hangs around.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's for kids like him, right? If they went to the school, they'd also be like, well, dang, I don't want to be like that. Even if I know I'm not like that now, but I never want to be like that. You know what I'm saying?
Dang, you're annoying. Yeah.
So so there that is.
This is why the school is the best option. Look at all these options you have to do. Man.
What happened?
School is literally the best option if you want to help people.
No. Here's the thing, though. We can't do public because there's regulations and rules that we can't receive stuff. We can't receive too many things either.
Okay, but private schools also can have private funding. let's just say like you
Yeah, but
as
now
a
what if
person.
but we won't have full domain over the ideas that we want to like what if we want to do all this stuff and then somebody's like, oh no, never mind, we don't like that, and they're like one of our private funders, but they have like a big section or something. No, this should be like either an after school program or something like that. But it'll be a free after school program because half of the like ghetto parents don't want to like have their
Okay,
children
so
places.
if it's not like part of the school, what makes you think people that actually are gonna show up?
Okay, listen to
God, I'm
this.
sick of
I used to be in a program that was something like that, and it's called Touching Miami with Love. And it had a lot of students who went there after school because parents made them because it was free. All you have to say is free homework help. Ghetto parents will send their kids.
Alright.
Okay, wait.
Alright, so here's the deal.
Here's the deal.
Yeah. So, Brandon has to be back at work in about 5.5 hours.
Okay.
So, we're going to take little Brandon across the
Uh-huh.
and try to go get a light lunch somewhere.
Okay.
And then go look at fun first.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, sure.
hey,
No.
no,
I just said yeah.
first day.
Mom,
Are you ready?
I'm yes. Okay. I swear. Sometimes let me not say that.
Okay, back to how to invest for the betterment of the community.
Because listen. Let's be real here. If you can fix the poor African American like social system, I feel like things will be better for our country. Think about this, right? Think
Things
about
would
this.
be better for our country.
Because look,
But then
'cause look, 'cause
obviously
look.
like there's some like racists that like would try their best, like their hardest to disapprove
No,
or like
listen. I get that, right? But 90% of the time, right, most racist people, right, they're all like, oh, I don't like blacks and all this stuff, right? Because they're like, oh, they're ignorant, this and that. But what if they encounter a black, right? And they're like, oh, you black, but like then he starts talking proper, they're having a good conversation, they realize they have a lot in common. I feel like fixing the black social system will also contribute to fixing racism as well. Because sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, some of the social ideologies of racists are based on the majority of African Americans who do drugs and steal and talk like ebonics and stuff. So that's like what we're made out to be. But if we
Yeah.
could completely eliminate that factor, then they have nothing to complain about. Then what they're just gonna if they just complain about the color of our skin, then that's okay. But like as long as we're respectful and like our neighborhoods are clean too and all that stuff, there should be no problems.
do I have to clip what we're talking about? Cause like
You should. So that we don't forget it.
yeah.
If we win the lottery.
If we win the lottery, we fix racism.
Oh my lord. Wait, Nani?
Low key, I think we have so much potential now to solve the world's problems.
We've always had it. But do we
Just
have the motivation?
remember, we brought this up because some dumb kid's family won the lottery and decided to buy cars for their son.